I can record it.
There you go. Welcome
There we
those
go.
of you who are joining us now and those of you who are joining us online later. Uh, we're excited to be together again tonight to continue to move forward with our after school inbox, after school box.
Box.
No in, no after school
After school
box.
box.
Um, planning, and it gets more exciting as we keep thinking about more things that we can add, things we can do with the box. And what are you doing with your hand, Elizabeth?
ASB. We were just
Okay.
trying to figure out if that was an acronym for anything else.
Okay. Don't do that anymore because I'm used to you giving me signals to like shh or don't do that or. So we're excited about being together to do that tonight, and really want to thank Claire especially and Morgan, who put a lot of work into getting this together, and then they're going to set us loose as teams to continue to move things forward. I know that you've all had a chance to talk and brainstorm on the Google Doc, and we've been looking through that and praying through that, and Claire and Morgan have done a ton of work to kind of get us to where we're at, and we're about to do a ton of work to get us forward. And so, again, I think the thing I'm most excited about with this is, it answers something that's been on my heart as God's asked me to lead during the season. And I think for us as Waterline, we've been trying to figure out what is our part in the kingdom to reach our community. And when you think about our mission to bring life to every neighbor and neighborhood until God is first in every heart and every home, the thought that we can use these boxes to get into neighborhoods and homes is really exciting to me. And we've been trying to kind of crack the code to how does Waterline make an impact as a small church in such a large community. And I feel like this could be the very thing that God uses for us to make a really cool impact. So I'm excited about it. I know that many of you are excited about it too, who are watching now and watching later. So I'd love to pray and then give a little update on what I'm responsible for, and then hand it off to others. Let's pray. Lord, thanks for this time together as a team. Thank you for the way that you are breathing life into what we believe is your idea. The idea that we can bring activities that draw people to their families and eventually to you, that open the door to Waterline, which opens the door to the gospel, to homes and neighbors around our community. We just ask that you would bless our time, that you would guide our conversation, that you would breathe creativity into us and energy and excitement as we lean into this and begin to see this take shape. In Jesus' name, amen. Wow. Oh, David, there's two Davids. Like, wow, I prayed somebody into the room. But anybody else want another David? I can pray again. Again, like my big excitement about this is that it, first and foremost, because it's a way to reach out into our community. Secondly, that it's going to be able to give us a place for people who maybe haven't had a chance to volunteer in things lately, because we've been more event-oriented in the past, an opportunity to get involved with things like assembly and our, the idea that Leah had last time about I forget what we're calling it, something party.
Pickup party.
Pickup party, which now all of a sudden sounds like a Sadie Hawkins dance. But I won't call it that again, maybe. But excited about all that. And so I've been responsible for branding, and I am a week late in that because I told Claire I would try to have something for her for Friday last week, and we haven't. So we've had a little trouble getting the design team or design people together for this. And so I've enlisted somebody new who's not designed for Waterline before, but who's done a lot of design work for me. They're working on it. They promised me they're going to have something to me by the end of this week, which is a week later than what they told me they would have. But what we're planning to do is to have a brand kit by the end of the week or the first of next week, that will not be a Waterline brand, but will emulate some of Waterline's branding so that they kind of pair well together. But again, the idea is for this to be a standalone brand, standalone website, afterschoolbox.com, standalone website, that people can come to and at first, have the opportunity to engage with us, but hopefully eventually be able to engage in a network of churches that want to reach into the community this way. So I'm working with the web designer and the digital designer to kind of knit all that together with the plan on having that ready to launch soon, like third week of September. So that's where I'm at with that. I'm a little behind.
Cool. Well, I'm just going to give you an update of what we have been working on. So you guys submitted, we had a great brainstorming session last time we met, and then you guys submitted awesome ideas on that doc. And then Morgan and I got together and we just kind of put our brains together and we decided what was going to go in the box for October, and just trying to hit on, David, that was awesome what you put in there about the different questions, and like, oh, we should have science, we should have outdoor. Like, that was really good feedback from you, so that Morgan and I could filter and make sure that we hit all those points when we were trying to decide where everything goes. So Morgan's going to share that with you guys in a second. So that has already been decided, and supply list has already been created, and hopefully we can get something together. My goal is hopefully, I mean, depending on branding or maybe not branding, just taking a picture of all the items, we can do some promotion with that so that we can put them all together and kind of like sample what we think it's going to look like. And it was really exciting for Morgan and I to sit through there and dream and think about what would be fun for these kids and what would bring some relief to parents and just kind of ease people into this awesome idea and just give people lots of options. And so we decided not to split the boxes by age groups. We just have different activities. Some could be like, if they don't want to do the activity, they just don't have to do it. But each week has like 4 or 5 different random activities that they can do, and they're all different types of activities. And so what we really need to decide tonight is when we should do the pickup party. And I have split each staff person. So like Scott said, he's going to take marketing and branding. And so anyone who is the marketing branding team will go to Scott. And then after this meeting, you guys will just meet as a marketing and branding team, and you'll only handle that unless there's like something that we all need to like collaborate on. So from the pickup time in the pickup party, we will each create our own timelines depending on what team, which I have divided you guys into different teams. So Morgan and I are doing content and box creating, so assembling of boxes and what goes in the boxes and what that looks like. So Morgan and I are working on that. Laura is going to do the pickup party along with community outreach. And so she talked to Susan on Sunday. And so Susan's already creating stuff for Prevail that we can put in there. She knows it's going to go to kids and stuff that's going to go to parents. And so Laura's going to be the coordinator for everything that goes into our community partners and the pickup party. And then Elizabeth is going to handle kind of our video production YouTube side of things. So in what we have created, Morgan and I want to get familiar faces in front of these and really make it relational, and not just like you pick up a box, but you actually get to know the characters and the people that go along with this box. And so we're going to have like a welcome like group, and we're going to have a chef that every month they teach you a recipe or something to bake, and we can make a fun video and dress them up in, chef hat and apron and all that crazy stuff, and then have a coach that explains a game. If a game has more rules and it's a little complicated, they can be the coach character that they always see. And so Elizabeth is going to handle scheduling people for that and video recording, and then pulling in different people to edit those videos and put them on our YouTube channel, and kind of figure out, okay, Morgan mentioned like a QR code. Are we going to do a QR code? Are we going to do this? Like, Elizabeth's going to handle a team of people that will help make that happen. And obviously it's going to be outside of these squares and outside of these people that we've asked to be part of this. So if you're on the video team and you think that someone else would be awesome and they would love to do this, like, I want you to feel like you can invite them and share the passion with them and invite them to come along and be part of this, because we can pull in. This literally hits every single gifting of people. Even the admin side, if you don't want to be in front of people, there's going to be a lot of little details and little things that need to be done to make this happen. And so I'm excited to continue to pull people into what that looks like and just continue to add more and more people to this team and make it really a church-wide project of how we can serve our community in this way. So I think that's all the teams that I had on here. I have Micah with us for the content box. You have a lot of great ideas. You all have a lot of great ideas, but just your teacher side of things and being a male, I think really speaks into what we can do in this time. And then Heather, I also have you on content with Morgan and I. And then David, I put you with the video, YouTube kind of stuff. You also know a lot of the production team and how to pull those people in. So I think you'll be a huge asset on that. And then Steve, I didn't know where you would feel like you would fit, if you want to do video or if you would rather do content or pick a party. I don't know. You can just let me know where you feel like you fit. The thing is, everyone's going to be able to brainstorm, and so everyone will be able to give ideas, and we want everyone to continue to think of ideas. The content team will just kind of decide what the final products are and how they get into the box and kind of what that looks like. So
I'm happy to go anywhere. Who wants to? Who
I
wants to?
knew you were gonna be
Me?
happy to go anywhere. I mean, Scott, is that you?
Is that
What
the
are you
thumbs
doing?
up? I can start with you.
All
Yeah, I
right.
can think about it though. And
Yeah, just think about it, and then I have Leah with Scott for marketing and branding. And then Joni is going to be with us for the content stuff, and she also helps me manage the HSC Facebook group. So she also has a lot of insight, and she has her kids virtual learning with her all the time. So will also be on that team with us. So I have the September 21st or September 22nd. One is a Monday, one is a Tuesday for a pickup party. Just feedback from you guys. I know with sports and everything, it's going to be hard to try to figure that out, but I feel like Saturday and Sunday are also like really full of sports stuff, and if anything gets canceled, it automatically gets moved to Sunday. So that makes Sunday a really challenging day. And so even if we wanted to do 2 days, like we could do Monday night and Tuesday night, depending on how people's schedules are or just a time frame. Like if you tell me games don't start till like 5:36, then we could start it at like 4. And some of us who can be there at 4 can be at 4, and we can make it go for till 6 or 7. So just feedback from you guys who are in the sports and have kids in sports and what that looks like for your guys' schedule. What would your feedback be on what would be the best time to schedule something like that?
What time frame are you looking at the pickup to be for?
That's what we're deciding.
What we're deciding right now.
We can do whatever we think is best.
I
We will
know.
make it happen.
I know a lot of sports practices. They end up starting anywhere from about 5:15 and go through the evening on any day. It's
Do you have
rare.
your microphone on? Sorry.
Sorry, let me do it this
There
way.
you go. Yes, that's better. Thank you.
Well, with this, I have a headset, and with Heather coming up here, I'm trying to make it work for both of us. I don't use the external mics. So, what my thought would be is practices start Monday through Thursdays, and they usually are 5:15-ish to they go till 8:30 through any of those days for any of the sports, whether it's soccer, football, or basketball. Well, baseball's not playing right now much. There's just a handful of practices through that. But so, obviously, like you said, Claire, Saturdays and Sundays are games for soccer and for basketball. And Saturdays are primarily soccer, football, and basketball. But what I would suggest is I like the 4 o'clock idea. You give an opportunity like 4 to 6 or something like that. I think those are good times because people, if they are coming home from work, they can stop by, grab it on their way home, or, there's a range of options there, 4 to 7 or something like that. You would hit everyone in that aspect. I honestly couldn't tell you what would be the better day. I would stay away from Thursdays for sure. Thursdays are a hot commodity for practices with soccer and basketball. Wednesdays are usually a hot commodity for football practices. It just happened to be today. They had games because they're not playing this weekend, so they did games instead today. But generally, footballs are on Wednesdays for much of the teams. They try to make them later in the weeks because of the weekends with the games, and they want everybody to remember what they're
That's why I
doing.
was wondering if Monday would be like better than
Yeah.
further
My
along.
personal opinion would be Mondays are always your best opportunity to try and hit them and get them there. That would be my suggestion. What do you think? She says fine.
I
But
mean, obviously it's going to be trial and error, and when people
Yeah.
will register for this box, we can tell them they will pick this box up at this time, and we'll give them that when they sign up. And then if anyone can't make it, like, and hopefully it's like not a ton of people, but we wouldn't mind taking it and dropping it off at their house, or we can figure
Yeah.
out how to deliver, because right now it really will only be local people, especially
Yeah.
this first month. And so as we cap it and like zone in and kind of reevaluate each month, I think if we did like Monday from 4 to 6, did a 2-hour pickup, and then that's your window. I mean,
Yeah.
if they can't make it, we could
I think you should
do
look at
something else.
4:30 to 6:30 because if people get off work at 5, depending on where they live, getting there by 6 might be hard.
Okay, so go 6:30.
Yeah, you could even do 4 to 6:30 or something, or 4:30 to 6:30. Yeah, because she was saying for people that get off work at 5, if we were at work, over by, on the west side of Indianapolis, I mean, if we left work at 5, we'd barely get home by 6. I mean, it'd just be inevitable. So that's a good point. But, hey, I was going to ask this, Laura, who's on your team to help? Feels like you didn't have many. I'd join you.
I'm not sure whoever wants to help.
I have Leah also with her for like the actual
Oh.
on-site stuff, and then Nikki Brown. She wasn't able to be here tonight, but I think she would be great
Perfect.
for that. But
Well, I'm happy to help Laura
Steve
if it's
would
that
also
works.
be really great with that.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Woohoo! Scott, I'm not leaving you high and dry. I can help you too if you want.
So who was on the
That was
bus
just from sports wise. I wanted to give you that information at least. Kind of go from there. So
Yeah, that's great feedback.
So who was it on Scott's team?
Leah right now, just from the people that have joined in the beginning. But obviously there's going to be other people that are going to jump on there and other people we can ask to be part of that. Are you talking, Scott?
I
Yeah.
was. Were you saying, did you say the 28th and 29th? Were those the
No.
2 days?
I said the 21st and the 22nd.
Is there a reason why we wouldn't push that one more week?
You can. I won't be here.
Right. But you are here. Are you here the whole week of the 21st?
Yes.
You can get us ready.
Yes. Are you gonna get us ready and you
To
guys
me,
can
like
run
the
that?
last month, like if we did the last Monday, we try to keep it consistent. Just say, the last Monday of every month is the pickup day. That might make it easier for people in perpetuity. If that's a suggestion, I'm just throwing that out to the team.
Scott, I like that idea because it prepares them for the upcoming week of the month. It doesn't put them so far out from the next month. Like if they're picking up a box for October, having them just a few days prior to October is great, or that week. But if you do it almost like 2 weeks in advance, it may get set aside and it's just, I don't know, maybe getting forgotten or something.
Yeah, I think it gives us a little more time for assembly, and it keeps it front of mind.
And like Heather said, you could have an overlap of boxes if we go, a couple months down the road. If something like that was to happen with activities or something.
So
Yeah.
I like how easy that is to remember, and that it's just like in most cases a few days to up to a week before the first of the month. The only tricky one is going to be November, because that's the 30th, the day before the first, and then December is going to be between the holidays. But most of the time, that's going to fit really well.
The bonus in November, Heather just mentioned this, is that it's after Thanksgiving, so that's good. So you wouldn't have that,
But that would be the fifth Saturday or Monday.
Monday.
So you have to say, did you say the last Monday or the fourth Monday? You say the last Monday.
The last Monday, I think.
Give Heather the headset.
The last Monday would work. I was just looking out for several months. I'm in March, and April, May would fall into the same day. It's the last day of the month. But now you're in June. I mean, everything looks, I would say it's a good suggestion is the last Monday of the month. I think it fits the bill. Scott hits what you said right on the nose.
Yeah, that sounds good. So if we did September 28th from 4 to 6:30 on that Monday.
It might be easier to do 4:30 to 6:30. Is there a reason we would start at 4? It'd be good to just keep it 2 hours, I think.
Nope, that's fine.
Did you say that when people sign up for their box, they subscribe or whatever, are they going to indicate then that they can't come at that time? Or are we not going to know until the pickup day that people actually didn't come and pick up their boxes? And then what do we do?
I would just say that that's when they can pick up their boxes. And if they can't pick up their boxes, they'll find a way to contact us to let them know that they can't pick up their boxes. But we don't give them an option to not pick up their boxes, if that makes sense. Because then they're like, oh, obviously, I'm going to choose for these people to deliver it to my house because I don't want to actually go pick it up. So, like, it's just like the same with like the egg drop stuff. Like, we said what we wanted, but if people had questions or anything, like, there's going to be a way for them to contact back to us. And so I would just tell, like, that's when you have to pick up your box. And if they have a problem with it, they will reach out if they need answers, I think.
And we're not planning on shipping any.
No, not this month. It'll be only local. And so we want to keep it small and local for now as we work out the kinks. And then after we go through October, once we see, like, especially our people who are using the boxes, we want to interview them. We want to see what worked, what didn't work, go back to the drawing board for November so we can kind of, this is kind of, we're not branding it as this, but it is kind of like a test group for October, I guess.
Soft
So
launch.
that week, soft launch. Yes, that's a great word.
Not being a global enterprise until at least December.
What are you guys using for your ordering? Is it just through that website, through the domain, and just setting up a standard
Yes.
order
I
site?
believe it'll be through the site. We're going to push everyone to the website and they will sign up through that. Scott's working with kind of what that will look like.
Cool.
Yeah, so that sounds good. And so then once we meet with our teams, depending on, so now we know like boxes have to be ready to go by then. And so when we meet with our teams, depending on what we need from each person, we can figure out kind of what each of our timelines look like so that we can all be ready and accomplished by that date. But I'll be sad I won't be there, but I'll be there in spirit.
We'll take lots of pictures and stuff.
Yes, take lots of pictures. Well, Morgan, you can share with everybody what we've thought about and what we've planned for October, because you'll make it sound way more exciting than if I said anything we know.
Do you want me to go into detail about everything or give like a good summary with some juicy details?
Just, yeah. Good summary, juicy details. You don't have to give all the details, but you know.
Because I could, if you give me an hour-long slot, I could go in.
I will show you how to make this craft.
But it was super exciting, obviously, planning this out. Claire and I had a blast working it out and like figuring little things out because it was like we were living through it for the first time, which was fun. Our method of like figuring it out was that we divided the 4 weeks into like themes, as we talked about. And so we gave some nice like themes. So week 1, we thought, okay, the seasons are changing, fall, what's changing? The leaves. So we're thinking season, we're thinking fun. So our week 1 is going to be like the welcome video, the whole like visions being casted for the first time to the kids, to the parents and everything. So we have lots of fun stuff to keep them outside while the weather's still warm, like an outdoor scavenger hunt. We have supplies that we're going to do, some crafts that are going to be nice and fun. We might have a video with our craft coordinator teaching them how to do different little things, which will be cool. We are going to plug Prevail in week 1 because October is Domestic Violence Awareness. We're going purple, keeping the theme. It's going to be in there. Other stuff to keep them outside craft-wise. We're going to have some games and give them supplies to play different games. And we're doing a little bit of science in our craft as well with doing some like salt crystals, like development type things. And we're going to have like pipe cleaners. They'll shape like leaves and they'll be able to leave that and it will grow over time as they watch it throughout the weeks, which is really cool. So like overall week 1 we'll have about 7 activities. 5 to 7 is going to be our average in the weeks. Week 2 is going to be super fun. That's when we're bringing and introducing our chef character who is going to, the goal with these characters and stuff is going to be that when they are describing an activity or giving a recipe or anything, is that the video itself is going to be super entertaining so that even if they don't want to partake in making the recipe or doing the craft, they're still having a chunk of their time where they're having a great time connecting with our people and who we have teaching, which will be cool. We have more crafts that we're going to use our toilet paper rolls that we have left over for and other supplies, which is going to be fun. We're going to have some fun games in there that we're going to supply some ping pong balls and different things. Painting with apples. Obviously, we can't send them with apples. So like some things like that, like with food and stuff, we're going to give the heads up that these are things that are going to be needed in the house. And then a word search will be there too. we're doing our very best to keep. We don't want a kid to open up a box and be like, "Oh, this is so fun," and it to be paper, which would be lame of a flame, you know. But the word search, I'll explain that in a little bit. But week 3, pumpkin theme. When they pick up their box, they're gonna get a mini pumpkin, and we're praying that those will last until week 3. But mini pumpkins will be supplied, and they're gonna have a pumpkin painting contest that we will judge, and it'll be super cool that they can submit to our website, and it'll be super cool. Another pumpkin craft, toilet paper pumpkins, which Laura is the expert of making those. So we'll give them fabric and different things that they can form some beautiful decorations for their porch or inside. And then they'll have another pumpkin activity, which is, that game is, what is it? It's like 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like interactive, but they have to do silly things when
Yeah.
they land on the certain piece.
Yeah. Cool. So that one's like that's the week that we have the least amount, but it's still like substantial crafts and substantial activities with that contest and everything. And then week 4 is obviously Halloween, and we don't know if there's going to be a Halloween this year. So we are going to supply a Halloween for them in their box. The whole thing. The entire holiday is in week 4. And so what we are doing with that is that we're going to have lots of fun stuff they're going to do. We're going to supply one more piece of paper, so 2 pieces of paper overall, and it's going to be like a silhouette, and they're going to draw a costume on that, which will be super fun, and they can kind of give it a name, give it a title. What I'm looking forward to most, because I want to partake in this contest, is they're going to have a contest where they have to go around their house, and they have to create a costume out of anything they can find in their house. But they, instead of just having like a costume they can take a picture of, they have to give this character a bio, like a dating profile, whatever they want to call it. But it's going to be like, who is this character, what planet, what universe, wherever, where are they from, what's their life, what's their sister's name, like anything they can tell us. The characters that they're going to make, which will be fun. What else we got? Before I finish week 4, we talked about it last time. We talked about doing like a mystery or like a puzzle or something that they're going to figure out over time. So we are plugging that in this first month, where we are going to have their welcome video when they first get the box, and we are going to explain that there is a mystery activity at the end of the month. And within their welcome video, they're going to have their first clue, which will make it like obvious that this is where the clue is. They have to find out what the clue is. And then throughout one activity, each of the 4 weeks is going to have the next part of the clue, which altogether will reveal that at the end of week 4, that they're doing a Halloween egg hunt, where we're going to supply stuffed eggs, because, you know, we've got a lot left over of candy and stuff. And they're going to be able to have a scavenger egg hunt in their house. And the way that we're going to keep it a secret is that either separate from the box when they receive it, or at the very top of the box, we're going to have a parent pack, which has all the secrets, all the little answers that they need if the kids can't figure it out, and like the little egg supplies and stuff so the kids don't see it at first, which will be, I've been thinking of ways to decorate it so it looks fun, but I don't want the kids to like be interested in like peek in. But so after that, we want them to, you know, have a lesson from it and like learn to be selfless and everything. So we're going to do the concept of egging their neighbor, where they can take their Halloween eggshells that they did, they can restuff them, they can decorate them like little monsters or little angels, whatever they want to do. And then we'll give them a card so they can egg their neighbor's house, and they can, you know, pass on the joy, pass on the fun. So that is my juicy summary of the overview of the 4 weeks. So things that we need to figure out to get that complete would be the characters in the videos, casting that and figuring out when we'll do that, which will be a group among you and us. And
even how many videos?
Even how many videos, yeah. I think like overall, like I have this huge vision of like more than what we're going to be able to do right now. But
Who's surprised?
yeah,
Morgan has a giant vision we need to accomplish in 3 weeks.
3 weeks, I want 14 videos, professionally edited. No. But yeah, so I think I'm really excited about it. I think it'll be super fun. And we listed out all the supplies we're going to need, and it's going to be a lot of stuff that we already have, which is helpful for our first one, and then some stuff that we can pick up. which is cool.
So how big is this box that we're?
We're gonna need at least 4 people to carry each box.
I'm thinking like, when you're talking about a parent pack on top and the kind of like the egg secret stuff and everything, I was like, is this like a, 12 by 12? Is this,
Suitcase.
it's a suitcase. That's what it came down to.
Yeah.
I
That's what
don't think
we
it's
got
gonna
right.
need to be like that big. The biggest thing is the egg hunt. That is the biggest thing, and that will go in the parent pack. And then the pumpkin, they're gonna pick up separate. Like it's like when they come to the pickup
Outside.
party, they'll get the pumpkin, and that won't go in there. A lot of the other things is like just like craft stuff that they would need. We're not supplying them with like the apples and um, different stuff like that. So once next week, I'm planning to get everything that goes in the box, and then we can figure out what actual size box we need. But I don't think it's gonna need to be a suitcase. Not
Wouldn't.
this month. Maybe maybe next month, but
We don't have the budget for a forklift yet, so we can't get.
Would be kind of neat if the boxes had a handle on them and they were like a suitcase.
a little that'd be
Those
so
are
cool.
boxes.
Lunch boxes, yeah.
True.
That's kind of cool. Fold up into a lunchbox type thing. That would be neat.
I think I was looking at a 12 by 12.
So I figured most of the boxes that
What I
are
was
being,
thinking.
yeah, most boxes that are being, Marvel stuff and things like that, they're all 12 by 12s. That's pretty much very common. So, what type of outside games?
Outdoor games. We've got the scavenger hunt week 1, where we're gonna have a bag and it's gonna have a list of everything they need to find. Random stuff like dog poop, a dead squirrel.
I think that's perfect. A frog.
Yeah, anything. But yeah, it's like an outdoor like finding like leaves, which we got to think about. Like we're like when I picture like fall, I picture Canadian fall. So like Claire had to like tell me back to like, hey, we're living in like the neighborhoods in Fishers, so we got to think about those. So
He's like naming all these things like people live in forest around here. Like, no, Morgan, this is the suburbs of Fishers. Like, it'd be a miracle if they found an acorn, okay? It's probably at the park. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Other stuff.
So what are you thinking on the chef, that role? What's it going to be?
So the recipe is during the week where a lot of things are going to be apple themed for that first chef week. So I'm hoping that our chef's character can be someone who is just super engaging and has a lot of off the nitty gritty jokes. That'd be funny. But
So that's what I'm asking is who or what are you thinking? Who is this person? Is that you?
I have no idea. When I pictured our chef, every time I was describing the chef, I was like, it's going to be Laura.
It's,
I don't know if it's going to be Laura.
that's,
Just
how,
the first
that's
person.
how he
I
sees
didn't really
the
see
chef.
Laura in a chef's hat dancing with apples. I don't know why.
Morgan, you did pretty well on those other videos. I think you
What the heck?
saying.
How am I the chef all of a sudden?
I really want the chef from Sesame Street. That's what I see. If the chef was a puppet, it'd be funny. It's probably not going to be a puppet.
I think
We're going
Micah
to have
and
to
the chef
find
hat.
his, but
Micah and the chef hat would go over real well. That's all.
That's part of what we need to do is cast all of our people.
I'll do whatever.
So the reason I bring this up, okay, have you guys ever seen my Cooking Without Mom skit? All right, I'll put it in the chat. Don't watch it now. Save it for later.
Okay.
I did that with my older daughter, Lydia. Susanna watched it, and she got all excited and said she wants to do that. So, I mean, if the chef needs an assistant, Susanna would love it.
I love that idea.
That's fun.
that would be fun. It'd be fun to have a kid actually do it with the chef.
That is true.
That's a good
I think
idea.
it's a great idea.
If it was Morgan or Micah, oh, she'd love that.
The cool thing is, with those activities you have, Morgan, with like, what is it, like the word search or something like that, if you have somebody that you have to choose, maybe that's the next month's helper chef or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. to and to for kids to see kids doing it. That's a good idea.
Yeah. It's going to be cool having, like, we're obviously these characters are going to be reoccurring over the month, and we can mix and match who does it because we don't want to have someone committed to like everything, especially if stuff comes up. We need fallbacks or an assistant to that person that can take over. So we want to have lots of familiar faces in different roles that they can meet over time. And especially like, I want to throw in a puppet. I want to have a puppet that's like an assistant just in random different sketches, as well as Willie. Willie will be involved. No worries. But yeah, I'm just excited about it. It's gonna be cool. We did talk about like having like the next gen kids helping out in videos and different ones of our older elementary kids if they wanted to jump in too, which would be really fun.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
I'm actually thinking of seeing if, because we have to build out our production team a little bit in order to have a deep enough bench to handle all the video work. So I did also think about maybe asking to see if Renee Gordon's son, Jacob, might want to take part in that because he's had some interest in at least camera work. And I would love to get some younger people to help do that kind of stuff.
No, that's great.
It's a really good idea for kids to get involved in.
Yeah.
Professional teams, especially. You know, it's
And if they
it
get
doesn't have to be absolutely professional. It has to be something that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when other kids know other kids put the videos together. I think that's even a neat.
Yeah.
I mean, they like to watch Ryan play with his toys all day long, so I mean, I'm pretty sure we could do something like that.
Kills me. Those guys make millions of dollars by playing with toys.
I miss my calling in life.
Yes. Why didn't I think of
Jeez.
this?
Could be rich. So we're excited about the outreach stuff. We want to partner with a community, like a different community partner every month. And then we really wanted something to reach out. So we thought the egging for Halloween would be really fun. We know how much the kids loved it on Easter, and they didn't get to do any of that stuff for Easter. So why not do it again? And who knows what Halloween is even going to look like or if it's even going to happen. So it just provides these kids something fun for them to do and something fun for them to continue to pass it on. So after they do their egg hunt at their house, then they can choose to pass it on to somebody else. And then who knows if it could keep going or, like people are always surprised by generosity. It's something safe that we can do during the pandemic during this time. And so we are excited about the opportunity that this provides. And we know that it's just going to have a really big impact. And I'm excited to see how it plays out and then just continue to get feedback from people. Be thinking about who would be good on the teams that you're in or different people that you're like, oh, I know that they would love to do this, or even people that like we thought of people who like haven't come back to the building yet, like they don't feel safe coming into the building, but they would come and record a video, or they would come for like a assembly thing if we had like a certain time frame for people to come and assemble boxes, or pulling in different Laura's working on pulling in different life groups to participate in pickup parties and kind of owning the different parts of the pickup party. So I think we have an opportunity just to reach out and just continue to add more and more people to our individual teams, and kind of see how we can continue to pull people into this. I know when we have mentioned it, people have come up and they have questions and they're like, oh, what's that? And Scott's going to share more on the 13th at the annual meeting. He's going to be able to share this plan and what we're doing and what it's going to look like with everybody. And that'll just make more and more people, I think, want to get involved and kind of see how this plays out. But I'm thankful for you guys contributing to this and just putting your brains together and dreaming and seeing what this could be is exciting to me.
Same.
So our next steps from here would mean to meet with your team leads. So each of us will get with our different teams and kind of figure out what our timelines each look like. And you guys can schedule your own meetings with each of our staff leads that are over, just different conversations that need to happen and planning in the process, and letting each staff person kind of decide what their next steps are. So you just know who your point person is during this time and who you need to go to ask questions. And we'll continue to keep everybody in the loop. I shared you all the brainstorming doc that we each added to. I added a November and a December ideas so that we could continue to keep looking for ideas for November, December. Even when we were looking for ideas for fall, like things came up for November and I was like, oh, I don't want to forget that. That's a really good idea. So I just love it if you guys had time or you see something like out there, you have an idea, just to drop that in that document, and then our content team can continue to go through it and decide what would be good for that. So it's nice launching in October because we have Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, and so we can go off of holiday themes, and so it makes the theming a lot different and a lot easier for the months to come. And we've talked as a staff, Scott mentioned this with our staff earlier, but when we were planning Christmas, this whole idea really came from us talking about a Christmas Eve experience box for families or anybody to take home and have a Christmas Eve experience at their house. So if they don't feel safe, or they are out of town, or they just want to be at home with their family on Christmas Eve, we would give them a box that would allow them to have their own Christmas Eve experience as a family in their home. And he mentioned this morning how cool it can be that when people in our community have signed up for a Christmas box, for after school box, to allow them to also sign up for a Christmas Eve experience box. And so people can choose to get a Christmas Eve experience box from Waterline that they can take home and do as a family during the Christmas season, as a tie back to how we can also minister to families in our community, specifically at Christmas time. So I think also seeing a lot of our faces and different people and kids and in that are part of the Waterline community will help people have a personal relationship with Waterline, and coming to a pickup party and meeting us, and even having an area for prayer. If anyone needs prayer, like, you can go over and people will pray with you at this tent, and it's just there. It's offered for people. It's an opportunity just to minister to our community. So that would be our next steps.
This sounds fantastic.
I love it how this is turning out. Do you have a list, or can you make a list of who's on which teams? I tried to sketch them down. I missed a bunch.
Oh yes, I have. I'll put it in the chat right here. I'll put it on the other document too that I sent you guys.
Is there any thought of like some of these restaurants around here giving us like
Sorry, we can't hear you.
a
There you are.
I said, is there any thought of like restaurants or something like giving a $2 or $3 coupon that we could stick in the box each month, like for a free ice cream cone, or a free, something that the kids would like really want to try and get the parents to go take them to get a free ice cream cone, right? So obviously you've got a couple of different places, the new handles, you got Chick-fil-A, you got Dairy Queen, even McDonald's. I mean, just the standard donut places, things like that, that would be willing to to give just a free coupon for kids to come in and get something. It'll have free slushy. Yeah, it's something that could draw families in that they may buy something in their restaurant also at the same time. A little something for the rest or something.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think once we pull more people onto this team, there might be people who know somebody who, know different owners or have different connections.
I mean, we do have a Chick-fil-A connection to a few people in this place.
Yes, we do. Do
It is
have that.
Free ketchup packets in each box.
Ketchup.
If it was the big ones, we'd be excited.
Yeah, me too.
I just thought that'd be cool with, thinking of November, December, Thanksgiving, and, stuff like that.
And like local owned, like even not necessarily the bigger
Franchise.
franchises, but some local owned businesses that we could support in our communities would be cool too.
Schoolhouse.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, especially as we aim for, I think, November and December. We could do that. And every time we've done that for art camp, we also can give them a tax write-off. And so the end of the season, and they have to give away so much stuff for their taxes. And so that also isn't like a benefit for them, that we do have a form that we give them so they can say that they gave this much for church.
Awesome.
Any other questions, feedback?
I was just gonna say I'm really excited too. I think as we've talked about it as a staff, it's really cool to see like how many things like are affirmed through it. Like, oh, that's a good idea, or oh yeah, like we're able to meet that need and that need. But then even like to come together then as a team and hear everybody talk, it's just really exciting. I think it's really well done and it's gonna be really fun. I think we're gonna really like it. Good job, team.
Cool. Well, that is all that's all we have for you guys tonight. And we have recorded this, and so our friends who were able to be with us tonight, I will send this out so that they can catch up on the conversation and kind of hear where we're going. And I'll send you guys the teams, and I'll send you guys the more detailed list of content if you are interested, since Morgan gave you the condensed version. But if you want the whole version, I have the whole version, if you would like to get into that. And just be thinking and praying about who we can invite to be part of this. We can invite them, obviously, like from all of us inviting them, but when it comes from one of you, it means so much more than, oh, Claire's going to ask me to do this, or Laura's going to ask me to do this, or Elizabeth's over production, so obviously she's going to ask me to do this. But when you think of someone in your circle that you have a relationship with and you invite them to do something alongside of you, it's really cool and really special, and they feel like, oh, like they see this in me and they want me to be a part of it. And that excitement is contagious to other people. And just be thinking and praying about who you can ask. And there might be people that come to mind, people like who we didn't even know gifts are going to come out of this. Like someone is going to have their own hidden YouTube channel that we don't know about. There's going to be the best chef ever, and we don't even know. Like, there'll just be gifts that people can step up and use that they may not have ever stepped in and used before. And so just be thinking and praying about what that looks like.
We probably don't even need to all be waterliners, right? Like if we have somebody, like especially if there's somebody a friend or somebody that we've been, sharing our faith with outside the church, what an awesome way to pull them in and include them and make our recruitment even an outreach.
Yeah,
Just
that's
think
great.
outside the box.
Yeah.
Ah,
Outside the box to put it in the box. Well, thank you guys for your time and for this energy and giving your evening so that we could share this with you. And thank you for your affirmed excitement. It's awesome to hear feedback from you and see how we can continue to reach our community in unique ways, even in the midst of a totally different season that we're in right now. So I would love to pray for you guys, and then we can sign off, and I will make sure to send you all the details that we talked about and get this recording out to our friends who couldn't be here tonight. So Laura, thank you so much for the good ones, for David and Laura and Micah and Elizabeth, Scott, and Morgan. And I pray for Leah and Joni, who couldn't be able to make it here tonight, Lord, and our other friends that couldn't join but are still so excited and passionate about reaching their community in unique ways, Lord, and just sharing love and positivity in a time that it seems like that's really rare in our world right now, Lord, and that we just get to share your love and step into something that might seem a little overwhelming or like a lot of details. But I pray that you just be in every single plan, every single detail, every single team meeting, every single conversation. I pray that you just continue to lead us to who we can invite to be part of this, whether they're in the Waterline community or they're part of our community, whether they're our neighbors or friends, whatever that looks like. Lord, I pray that you just provide the perfect people to be part of this new initiative and this new opportunity that we have. I pray that you just continue to bless all these people for the fact that they are a blessing to so many people in their lives, and that you just allow us rest, and that you just fill us with more of you so that we can continue to shine your light every single day. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Don't forget David Swisher's link from the chat.
Right.
Where you,
Oh, yes.
The chef video.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys have a good evening, and we will talk to you later.
Sweet.
All right.
Thanks,
See
everybody.
ya.
Bye.